Shofar very based Halacha Zayin or Shofar. Tinoik is children that aren't obligated to be educated. Ein Ma'akfen or son, you don't prevent them from Shabbos, from blowing on Shabbos. And he says, the Rambam says, with Shabbos, she'ena yontiv shel Rosh Hashanah. On a regular Shabbos, that is not Rosh Hashanah. You don't stop them either, because Kedei she'yilmudus, they know how to blow. Mutar ligodol lesasek imoim, and an older person can even instruct them, Kedei lelamdon, to teach them, but not you do it himself. B'yontiv, on yontiv, ben kot, doesn't matter whether it was a she'yir lechinuch. It doesn't matter whether he's a minor who is at the age of education. Ben kot she'yir lechinuch. And that's on yontiv, or on Rosh Hashanah. When it's not Rosh Hashanah, whether he's not obligated yet. On Shabbos, we do stop somebody who has come to the age of education from blowing. And certainly that you don't help them, because the whole blowing is only rabbinical. The Maggid Mishnah writes that that's the exact text as it should be. That's what we find in our texts. The Rebbe disagrees. Amar Avram. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer, the Omam is asking for him afil b'Shabbos leichan olchu. And the words of Rabbi Eliezer who says that you deal with them even where did that go? That even on Shabbos you may do so. I have a question: is the Lashon, the language of the Rambam, that's permitted to deal with them only on Yom Tov? Because Rabbi Eliezer says you can do so even on Shabbos. He says that this is the way the Brisa constructs its wording. Rabbi Eliezer is talking about Bekot and Shigiyah L'Chinuch HaMitzvahs. Rabbi Eliezer is discussing where a minor who came to the time of keeping mitzvahs, the father can instruct him in order that he should learn how to blow even on Shabbos, which is close to Yom Tov, meaning Rosh Hashanah, the Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah. As it says in Sukkot 42a, a child that knows how to shake the lulav, his father purchases for him a lulav. And every mitzvah, from the time that the kotten is able to fulfill it, his father is obligated to teach it to him. Therefore, the kotten knows how to shake the four species. His father purchases him a lulav. Here too, since the kotten came to be educated, his father works with him even on Shabbos, which is before Rosh Hashanah, to teach him to blow. But a kotten who hasn't arrived at the level of education, they can do so on their own on Yom Tov, but not on Shabbos. Certainly, the father should not be involved with him. This seems to be the correct understanding in my eyes. My Mishnah clarifies that the Ravid is the opinion, like the first text of the Rif that is quoted. When it comes to chinuch, you deal with him even on Shabbos because of the obligation of educating that a father has regarding his son. When he didn't come to the obligation of education, on Shabbos you stop him from blowing. On Yom Tov you do not stop him from blowing. In the Mishnah Rosh Hashanah 32b, it says that you don't stop the children from blowing, but you work with them, and they should learn. The Gemara clarifies that we're talking about a child who has come to the age of education. You teach with him, you show him even on Shabbos. That's Rabbi Eliezer's opinion. And somebody who hasn't come to that level, you don't stop him on Yom Tov. In the understanding of why Rabbi Eliezer says so, the Rif says because afilu b'Shabbos, what does it mean even on Shabbos? It said one, kotten shegiya lechinuch. that it means a child who has come to the age of education. But if he didn't come to that age, then he can do it on Yom Tov and not on Shabbos. That's the understanding of Ravid and Rashi. But if he came to the level of chinuch, loimis ask him imoy klal. You don't deal with him at all. But if he didn't come to that level, you can play with him. This is the Rambam's understanding. We should point out, from the Ravid, it would seem that only on Shabbos, as next to Rosh Hashanah, it's permitted, because the time of the mitzvah is coming. Then there's an obligation to educate him to blow. The case of Mishnah add that even according to the Rambam, that you don't impede him, the children that did not come to chinuch from going on Shabbos means even the 2 Shabbos that are before Yom Tov. So too, when Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos, you do not impede them from blowing, because even Shabbos of Rosh Hashanah, you don't impede them. So is the din. When Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos, that you don't impede him as well. But the Machon Nesher writes that the Rambam said specifically, you don't impede him on blowing on Shabbos. That's not Rosh Hashanah. To teach us, if Rosh Hashanah happened on Shabbos, that day we would stop them on Shabbos. They shouldn't make a mistake to think that you blow on Rosh Hashanah that happened on Shabbos when they grow up. Machon Nesher cites in the Yerushalmi, it would seem that if Rosh Hashanah happened on Shabbos, you stop the children from blowing. The Achronim, later commentaries, question on the different Yerushalmi, where it says specifically the opposite. Is in Rosh Hashanah, Perek Dalet, 4th chapter, Halacha 9. The Meiser Keach writes that according to Machon Nesher, there must have been a different text in the Yerushalmi. According to the Ran, the permission to be involved even on Shabbos with a child is only Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos. But a different Shabbos you can't have the child blow. So the Beis Yosef understood the Rosh. According to that understanding, only on Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah that happened on Shabbos, we don't stop them. But on regular Shabbos, we would stop them. So we have 3 possibilities. Either the Machon Nesher, that only on Shabbos, a regular Shabbos, it's not Rosh Hashanah, that's when you can deal with them. But a Shabbos, the Rosh Hashanah happened in it, we have to stop them from blowing, as the Rambam writes here. The position of Rabbeinu Menach and the case of Mishnah, that both the Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah and the Shabbos that Rosh Hashanah happens in, you don't stop them from blowing. She does it on the Beis Yosef and the Rosh, that only Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah, they happen to be on Shabbos, you don't stop them from blowing. The other Shabbos you would stop them, because the whole obligation is to learn to blow shofars only in Rosh Hashanah, even when it falls on Shabbos. Rabbeinu Menach lets us know a new idea, that the law that you don't stop them from blowing is only when they were used to blow on Rosh Hashanah that happened on Shabbos, like at the time of the Beis HaMikdash. But today, in no place do you blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah that happened on Shabbos. You do stop them from blowing. There are early commentaries who are of the opinion that for today it's forbidden for any child on any Shabbos. Even Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbos. They only said you can deal with a child, play with a child to blow on Shabbos, or you don't. When the time when shofar used to push off Shabbos, meaning in the Beis HaMikdash. That's what the Baal HaMoyer says, that would seem the Yerushalmi. But Rabbeinu Menach questions this. He's the opinion that it could even be even today, we don't stop them from blowing, because according to the Rambam, by a child that did not come to the level of blowing, we don't care if we don't stop them from blowing. Only when he comes to the level of education, we stop him, because maybe he'll take the shofar out to Rosh Hashanah. But if he didn't come to that educational level, you don't care if he'll bring the shofar to Rosh Hashanah. And he writes that seems to be the opinion of the Rif, because he cites only what is the halacha, and he brings it in that you don't stop the children from blowing on Shabbos, even though the edict was made that not to blow on Rosh Hashanah, that happened to be on Shabbos. And which writes that it would seem that it applies even in our times. The Ran argues as not a proof, since the Riv goes according to his way of writing, that even today you can blow on Rosh Hashanah Shachar on Shabbos when there's a Bezdin Kavu in a certain city. Therefore, the Riv mentioned it in his halachas, even though it's not technically applicable everywhere, but there are places where it is applicable. Now, I have questions. A person who goes out to blow, can he blow after he has already fulfilled his obligations? And from Rashi, he points out that it's forbidden, because the Rashi says misasik. He doesn't blow, he only shows as if he's blowing. It's true that these words of Rashi are not before us, but that seems to be the text before him. And therefore the Kesef Mishnah writes that after he blew and he fulfilled his obligations, he can't blow again. But if it's in the weekdays, the Taz says there's no forbiddenness at all. Abiyam was talking about Yontif, that if he fulfilled his obligation, he's not allowed to even help his child. Halacha, the Torah writes in 588, even though b'Shabbos you don't blow, you can tell a cotton who did not come to education that he should blow on Shabbos, he should learn to blow. He's already at the age of education, you can't tell him to blow. And if he blows from himself on his own, you do not have to correct him. The Mechaber doesn't mention this because it could be today when we don't blow at all on Shabbos, this halacha does not apply. The Gemara writes that after he fulfills his obligation, he cannot blow furthermore without reason. To fulfill the obligations of others in the Shofar of Rosh Hashanah, and the Mishnah Berurah adds, you shouldn't bring the Shofar, it's taking it out without reason. Even somebody who has a set time he should blow on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, he shouldn't blow to begin with to learn, even though he still has to blow on the second day. If the children already heard the shofar. And we're talking about blowing for a child. You can't do it if you've already he fulfilled his obligation. The Taz disagrees with the Ramah, explains the words of the Rambam in a different way from what we learned until now. It means refers to even in Yontif, that even if he came to the time of education, he's permitted to help him. It would seem that the adult is forbidden to actually blow. As Asik Rashi says, means to make small noises. It could be that the blowing and the working with the cotton are equivalent. If he's permitted to play with him, he's permitted also to blow. What Rambam writes to teach them on Yontiv, Ataz explains the Yontiv that happened on Shabbos. And these words are not a continuation of the beginning. First he said that b'Shabbos is not Yontif, and it stops a child. You have to stop a child who is of the age of education. Only those who have not intelligent enough to be taught, you don't stop them from blowing on Shabbos. But when Rosh Hashanah happens in that Shabbos, that it would be applicable to blow Minat Torah, therefore you can play with them, even if the Tinnik came to education, because technically it's a day of blowing. The Taz points out at the end of the Halacha that the Kiyah, the Rambam writes, Ein Isur Ela Mishum Shvus is only forbidden because of a rabbinical edict, and the Shvus is only possible on Shabbos. Furthermore, the Taz says, we began the Halacha on Shabbos alone. If he's talking about a Yontif b'Shabbos, he should have said that we're discussing a Shabbos, which is the Yontif. It's different. But from here it would seem that the entire Halacha is talking about on Shabbos alone. However, regarding Rosh Hashanah that happened on a weekday, the Gemara on Rosh Hashanah that Chotes on base 29b says there's no forbiddenness because Tkiya b'shofar is not even a musical instrument. It's a chokhmah. It's a skill. It's not a work, and it has no forbiddenness of rabbinical. Just the forbiddenness on Shabbos is because of Rava. That Rava says maybe you'll cause it to be taken 4 amos and shusarabim. That can't be in Yontif. There's no Issa Yitzor. There's no forbiddenness to take it from domain to domain, and certainly not to amos and shusarabim.